The air in the grand arena of Xylo's Prime crackled, thick with pheromones and primal excitement. It was selection day. Towering alien women, adorned in iridescent feathers and gleaming volcanic stones, filled the high dome, their eyes sharp as they scanned the contenders below. Roars echoed as scaled, muscle-bound Centauri males flexed, shattered stone benches with fists, and hoisted massive beast skeletons overhead. Strength was beauty, raw power worth. Forelag crushed a ferrosteel beam last cycle, hissed one young female to her sister. I wait only for him. Suddenly, the arena fell unervingly quiet. A new group entered, smaller, softer, lacking tails or glowing eyes. Guards announced with booming authority, "Behold, humans of Terra, visitors by invitation." Disbelief rippled through the crowd. Laughter erupted. "These are males?" scoffed one Centauri, pointing. "Like soft grubs. Where are their spines? Their claws?" Among them stood Kale, short brown hair framing calm blue eyes, dressed in simple fatigues. He observed the spectacle with quiet confidence. Forelag, the arena champion, swaggered towards him, scales gleaming. "You wish to join the trials, Terran?" Kale offered a small, steady smile. "Why not?" The dome erupted in derisive laughter. "He'll be pulp, bones like twigs." Even the Empress Lysandra, watching from her radiant throne high above, arched a sculpted brow. "Let him try." Her voice echoed, cool and commanding. "It will amuse me." The first trial. Lift the unyielding stone, a colossal, rune-carved monolith only Forelag had ever shifted, and barely. Centauri males strained, roared, failed. Then Kale stepped forward. Whispers turned to smirks. He knelt, placed his hands beneath the stone, and focused. Muscles corded in his neck, veins stood out like ropes on his forearms. Slowly, impossibly, the stone lifted. Silence descended, thicker than the arena dust. Higher it rose until Kale stood, the impossible weight held aloft. Gasps turned into a deafening roar, not from males, but from the females. "He did it!" Lysandra leaned forward, violet eyes wide and fixed on the human. Kale lowered the stone, sweat-drenched but composed. "True strength," he said, his voice amplified, "isn't measured in size, but in the depth of will." The translation hummed through the arena, striking a chord. Forelag stormed away, his dominance challenged not by muscle, but by resolve. Lysandra summoned Kale that night, under Xylo's twin moons, amidst bioluminescent flora. Their conversation was a dance of intellect and revelation. He spoke of Earth, of resilience born from restraint. She confessed her own path, forged in her father's image of unyielding force. "You confuse me, Kale," she admitted. "Yet, you make me question, what if power is quieter?" Their connection sparked, a mutual respect blooming. "Bring him to the proving ring," Lysandra commanded later, testing him against her elite guard captain, Thornek, who accused Kale of deceit. The duel was brutal. Kale, outmatched in strength and speed, used agility, leverage, and unbreakable will. He didn't win by overpowering Thornek. He endured, outthought him, and finally used the warrior's rage against him, flipping him onto the hard light floor. Lysandra stepped into the ring, offering Kale her hand. "Your strength," she declared for all to hear, "is not in your muscles. It is in your standing." The cheers this time were universal. Change, however, bred resentment. Forelag, his pride a festering wound, saw Lysandra's growing regard for Kale as the ultimate insult. Whispers of her moonlight walk with the human fueled his fury. "He weakens us," Forelag raged to his ally, Commander Rex. "He makes females see us as obsolete." The old ways demanded a challenge. The summons came for Kale. Forelag demanded an open trial for honor his and Lysandra's. The grand arena seethed with tension. Thousands packed the stands, banners waving. A palpable divide between tradition and the new ideal. Lysandra sat rigid on her throne, bound by protocol. Kale faced Forelag, who wielded crackling energy staves. The gong sounded. Forelag attacked with berserk fury, landing blows that sent Kale staggering. Pain flared, but Kale endured, dodging, using Forelag's momentum against him, sweeping his legs, striking pressure points. He fought not to dominate, but to survive and prove a point. Enraged, Forelag grabbed Kale's throat, lifting him. "She is ours. You are nothing." Kale choked out. "Maybe that's the problem." He kicked free, then did the unthinkable. He disarmed Forelag, tossing one staff from the ring. "This isn't about her," Kale stated, locking eyes with the champion. "It's about your fear." Blinded by fury, Forelag charged. Kale sidestepped, letting the massive Zentari crash face first into the sand. Silence. Lysandra rose, her voice cutting through the stillness. "It is done." She walked to Kale, raising his arm. "This man wins not through violence, but by proving strength resides in spirit, resilience, and control." The arena erupted, a wave of acceptance washing over even skeptical males. Forelag's roar of dominance had been silenced by Kale's quiet fortitude. Weeks later, under Xylo's twin moons casting silver light on a transformed palace garden, Lysandra stood before Kale. The frantic energy of the arena was replaced by profound quiet. "I never asked," she began softly, "why you truly stayed." Kale met her luminous gaze. "I felt called. Then I met you." He saw past the crown, the weight of rule, the buried kindness, the loneliness of command. Lysandra confessed the pressure. Advisors pushing for a political match with a southern warlord prince. "But you," she stepped closer, "reminded my people, and me, of a different strength. You made me feel seen, not just as Empress, but as Lysandra." She offered her hand, palm open. "Kale of Terra, will you stay? Not for a throne, but for us? For a future built on this new strength." The air hummed with possibility. Kale placed his hand in hers, his answer simple, resonant. "Yes. Not for power, but for partnership. Not for conquest, but for connection." The soft chime of the bonding bell echoed across Xylo's prime. In the palace courtyard, not a grand wedding, but a bonding of equals was witnessed by Zentari and Terran alike. Lysandra spoke not of bloodlines or conquest, but of choice and a better future. Kale stood beside her, a symbol of calm strength. Below, the city pulsed with change. Females trained alongside males in Kale's defensive techniques. Children reenacted his duel with mercy. Markets sold stories of the human who redefined power. In a quiet corner of the healing gardens, Thornek offered Kale a respectful nod, a warrior acknowledging a different kind of strength. That night, Kale and Lysandra sat under the stars, hands intertwined. "You changed everything," Lysandra murmured, resting her head on his shoulder. Kale looked at the alien sky, then at her. "No," he corrected softly. "We did. And I was meant to be here." Xylo's prime, once ruled by the roar of might, now embraced the profound power found in stillness, resilience, and the courage to choose a different path. A path forged when an empress looked beyond muscle and saw the unwavering heart of a human. The revolution wasn't loud. It was the sound of a new world breathing.